Hello there. This is James, and you're watching OneRoyal, and it's live. In today's program, I want to talk about a certain car manufacturer which has lost its membership to an exclusive club, plus a certain earnings report which has almost become like its own micro event for the market. Plus, I want to touch on the fact and ask the question, has Trump actually got his precious? But before we get into all of that, don't forget, these little videos are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever should ever be taken as financial advice. I always suggest you do your own research and do your own due diligence. And of course, know the risks at hand before entering any trade. With that out the way, let's get started. So, first off, Tesla has been kicked out of the $1 trillion club. Now, they haven't really been kicked out, but what's happened is share price has fallen so dramatically is that their market cap is now under $1 trillion. I mean, their share price alone sank 8% yesterday. And now practically, where's Tesla's trading at the moment, is practically wiped out all its gains it got on Trump's election victory back in November. In fact, year to date, Tesla stock is down 25%. Now, if you look at something like the NASDAQ, for example, that's only down like 1.5%. And in fact, not that I'm going to feel sorry for him, but this whole thing has meant Musk has lost 100 billion of his net worth. I mean, still, I'm not going to cry for him because he's still the richest man on the planet. So he's not, looking, going to a soup kitchen now. But yeah, he's still the richest man on the planet. But this whole thing has wiped off 100 billion of his net worth. And this leads me to another question. Is he damaging his brand? Is he the cause of it? Is he damaging his brand? Because his recent antics, he's obviously playing Mr. Vice President, and certainly his involvement in politics, not just the US politics, but his commentary about politics in, say, Germany, where he sided with like the right-wing party over there, who came second, actually, in the last German elections. His comments on British politics, is it damaging his reputation? Or damaging the brand? Because in fact, if you look yesterday, it was announced that Tesla's European sales dropped by 45% in January. 45%. And this is down to lack of demand and, of course, the rise in competition. And here's the other thing. I mean, I read an article in Reuters today, and there was a general case of people saying who bought Teslas a little while back want to give them away. Not give them away, but want to sell them because of, obviously, Musk. He's turning a lot of people off his product. But anyway, let's have a quick look at Tesla at the moment. Let's have a quick look, see where it is. I mean, this is what's interesting. Like I say, he lost 8% yesterday. Again, in general, it's down 25%. This is on a daily. Okay, and we are coming up close. We're currently trading around $304 a share, but we're coming up close to where it closed on the 6th of November following Trump's victory, which was $287. And then obviously it then surged to an all-time high. And then the market went, I'm not sure about this. And it's almost back down to where the gains were they made in that. And it's like I say, it's worrying. And like I say, if you have a look at their finances as well, like I say, you can see, I can pull up their finances here. Yeah, more financials. Here we go. This is what I'm going to look at. You can see, for example, like I say, they've fallen under $1 trillion. They're, still a pretty valuable company at 980 billion. So again, that's no loose change, but it's lost dramatically off this. So it has lost that precedent of being a part of the $1 trillion club. Anyway, on other news, which is really realistically probably the big news of the day, is the big news of the day, because the market, like I say, they're treating this event as its own macro type event. You would have thought it was something like the Fed press conference or Fed interest rate decision happening today, with how the market is talking about it. And really, their market is bracing itself for that. And that is of course, Nvidia's earnings report due today. Due that day. It'll be after the closing bell as well, by the way. And it's really preparing itself because it's potentially huge. And the whole point of the matter is, investors are really going to focus on not necessarily their earnings, because they had a good 2024, but they're going to focus on how Nvidia is preparing itself for tariff fears and further export controls on shipments to China. So don't forget, because this is another worrying thing, because again, it's the forecast is what they're really focused on. Like I said, it's yesterday the White House sort of hinted and announced that they are going to be looking at the regulations that the Biden administration put on exports to China, and they may tighten it, in particular for chips, because they don't like the idea of American tech going over to China. They don't like it. And this can indeed affect Nvidia, because though it's not their biggest market, the biggest market is homegrown, it's in the US, but China is still the company's third biggest market, and it brings in 5.4 billion to Nvidia a year. So it's pretty huge. The other thing about this, like I said, they had a good 2024, a very good 2024, but they haven't done so well in 2025. Their share price is actually down by 5%, but they're not the only ones. Okay, it's not just them. If you look at all the big American, tech companies, okay, you have Alphabet, which is down 7%. Amazon is down 3% this year. Microsoft is down 5.5% this year. Apple is down by 1% this year. And as we've already seen Tesla as well, and they're down 25% this year. The only one of the Mag 7 is Meta. They're up. They were up higher, last week for the year, but they're still up about 10% year to date. And the other thing is, obviously, Nvidia is still slightly licking its wounds. After DeepSeek raised 600 billion, I think it was. That's wrong. That's a type error. 600 billion of its market cap. So this is really going to be a really big news. I mean, the market is really bracing itself, and they're looking at Nvidia this is not just going to affect Nvidia, this earnings or their forecast. It's not just going to affect them, okay? Because it's going to potentially impact the whole market. Now, the S&P 500 has been suffering 4 trading days of losses, along with the NASDAQ, okay? Along with the NASDAQ. So can Nvidia give it a boost? Or is it going to be like Walmart? But don't forget, this rot, or this recent rot we're seeing in the US markets at the moment, one of the reasons was that Walmart's earning report. That even though that earnings were better, the forecasts for 2025 and 2026 was not good. And that's why the market is overreacted. So really, you got to see, will Nvidia give it a boost? And really, is it gonna say the other Mag 7? Is it gonna help them? Let's look into Nvidia. Please help me. It's all down to them. Let's have a quick look at them actually and look at the market at the moment as well. So let's look at how Nvidia's started. Slightly up today. Look, it's again like the whole market has been under pressure over the last couple of days. But Nvidia here As you can see, it opened with a slight gap. So slight optimism on that. Currently trading at $130.82 an ounce. On a longer picture, though, as we can see, like I say, it has suffered those several real bad trading days. That was the day of DeepSeek. Not pretty. If we have a look at the S&P, see if it's beginning to recover slightly. It is recovering slightly today. Again, because I say the anticipation in Nvidia is borderlining on that 6,000 points again. But as you can see, we've had 4 days of losses. Will Nvidia give them that boost it greatly needs? Same with the NASDAQ. Again, 4 days of losses, getting a slight boost on that. As well as that, of course, it wouldn't be one of my broadcasts if I didn't talk about gold. Obviously, slightly down at the moment, still above that trend line. Okay, we're currently trading at $2,908, quite a fair bit now off the all-time highs. But like I say, it's still got a very interesting potential trend line on that. Like I say, I'm keeping my eye on gold because everybody knows I love gold. So there we go. Okie dokie. There we go. Right. Something else I want to talk about. Which, is in the news, is in the press. It's not necessarily, potentially it could lead to something. And that is Trump gets his precious. Because it has indeed been announced that Ukraine and the United States reached agreement over access to Kyiv's rare earth minerals. Not to the amount that I think Trump initially wanted. He wanted something like 500 billion, amount of these minerals. But I don't think they've come up with that. I think they've come up with a slightly deal where they might even make a sort of fund or joint agreement on these minerals. Now, these minerals are extremely valuable for technology and other types of tech, which of course is a big industry in the United States. Is why he wants it. And as well as that, this will part of the deal. This is the tricky thing. Part of the deal. He will write off all the military equipment and funds they've given to Ukraine to fight the conflict. That's part of the deal. And as well as that, all he said, he will let them fight on. He hasn't given any security guarantees, any extra additional protection, nothing like that. He hasn't done anything like that. So no offer for that. But I like more this time. Oops, the daisy. However, if they could make some sort of deal, then this could potentially indicate that, yeah, indeed, we might be a little bit close to get some sort of form of peace pact or peace between Russia and Ukraine, the end to the conflict, because obviously it's been the US interests to obviously mine and get their hands on these minerals. So maybe. But either way, anyway, apparently Zelensky is going to Washington on Friday to meet with Trump. So no doubt we'll find more details about this deal and about this and what they've arranged in the coming days. Anyway, what else is happening in the market? Okay, of course, obviously we got US durable goods. Don't forget we had a shocking US consumer confidence report yesterday. It came in a lot lower. So I probably wouldn't be expecting a good US durable goods number either, but we'll see what happens. And also tomorrow, we have US GDP. Expectation is to come in at 2.3%. Previous reading was 3.1%. And finally, tomorrow, not that it's a big story at the moment, though I think there is a little bit more to it. You've got Friday's German CPI as well. But really, like I say, the big story of the day, it's Nvidia. It's Nvidia. I keep saying it wrong sometimes. Nvidia, it's all about that. I mean, this is really high anticipated. Where the market's talking about it, you would think the Fed is about to make an interest rate decision. It is really going to be really big today, potentially. Well, like I said, we'll find out. It's after the bell. We'll find the results. So really, it's going to be a knock-on effect tomorrow. But at the moment, you can see the market is trying to double guess, being a little bit bullish. Hence, Nvidia's share price being a bit more bullish today, and the S&P being a bit more bullish today. But anyway, it's big news. And like I say, from that report, it's all about their forecasts, how they're going to handle tariffs in the future, how they're going to handle potential export bans or export restrictions, and how they're going to handle competition like DeepSeek even. So that's the whole point. Don't forget, this is a live show. So if you're watching me on YouTube, by all means, you can ask me questions anytime you like, or just simply say hello if you like. Share with me your opinions. Let me know what you think. By all means, or just say hello if you wish. Just say hello if you like. It's entirely up to you. And don't forget, I do these live shows once a day, usually around 3 p.m. GMT, maybe just a little bit after, so I can watch the US Open and talk about things coming ahead in the next day, things like that. So I'm always here. Don't forget. I'm always on the blog as well, and Twitter, if you're watching me on Twitter as well. So yeah. Okie dokie. If there is no questions, no one wants to say hi, don't forget, if you're watching me on YouTube, okay, by all means, subscribe if you like, or hit the notification button so you know next time I'm going live. If you like what I do, you like this sort of content, give me one of these. It's nice to know that you like what I do. Anyway, if there is no questions and no comments, anyway, I don't think there is, so that's fine. Oh, by the way, one other note I want to make. If you're watching it after, and you're not watching it live, you're watching the recording on YouTube or something, or Twitter, leave a comment below if you have a question or your point or any point you have, and I will see it and I will reply to that question and that point, when I go live the following day. So even your comments, I will answer and talk to. So don't worry about that. Anyway, till next time, don't forget, these little videos are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever should they be taken as financial advice. I always suggest you do your own research, do your own due diligence, and of course, know the risks at hand before entering any trade. Till next time, every single one of you, trade safe.